Right, here we go. This Penn Station across the way. 8:22. 41 degrees out by the bus stop across the street. I can see it, but you can't. 8:42 a.m. What is it today? It's Wednesday morning. Does that make it the 26th of March, 2025? I don't even remember. I think that's it, though. But I just got off the train, and I was laughing to myself as I got off the train because I don't know, I've had a song going through my head. Boy, that truck is loud. I've had a song going through my head for the last couple of days. I haven't heard in years and years. It's The Who's "Can You See the Real Me? Can you see the real me? Can ya?" That one, I don't even remember if that's the name of it or anything. I think it is. That truck's turning. But here I am getting off the train with 1,000 other people. You know, nobody talks when they commute because we're all strangers. And going through my head is, "Can you see the real me? Can ya?" I think that's what that song was written for. Commuting. But I may have even said it out loud, mumbled it out loud, I should say, a couple of times as we were making our way up the impossible escalators. I should take a little video of that one day, because whoever designed Penn Station is clearly insane. Because, 1,000 people get off the train, and there's maybe, I don't know, half a dozen escalators of the length of the train that bring us up that are like 2 people wide. So it's just, you're just lining up for that escalator, and it can be, a little chaotic. If there's ever an emergency, it would be pure chaos. And it's even worse. It's even worse when you're waiting for a train, especially one that, because what you do is there's this big giant waiting area at Penn Station, and you stand there until it tells you what track your train is on. And then, 300 people have to make it down one escalator that's 2 people wide. It's kind of crazy. But, as we're all queuing up, waiting to get up that tiny escalator, can you see the real me? That's going through my head. A little FIT across the street. So that just kind of amused me as I was commuting in this morning. Because clearly nobody can see the real me on a commute because nobody's looking. My bag's heavy again this morning with some comics to give away to one of my students. Actually gave some away on Monday too. I must have hit the my box that had the R's in it, because I gave away one student some Robotech comics from the 80s. I don't know if anybody remembers them, but they were one of the first comics, I think Comico, the comic company, or Comico, whichever way you say. I used to say Comico, but I think it's actually Comico. That's what the people who work there say. Comico is kind of a dumb name, though, so I never quite wanted to say it. But anyway, in the 80s, Robotech was this comic made in America, but based on a Japanese, those giant robot mechs, I think it was. And like I said, it was one of the first Japanese-influenced comics in the U.S. back in the 80s. I haven't looked at them since the 80s, and they're stuck in a closet. Brought them in, gave to a student, and like I said, it must have been the R section I was going through of unwanted comics, because I gave away to another student some bunch of issues of Rip Claw. That was in early to mid-90s even. Maybe it was 94, 95, I can't remember. Rip Claw was one of the many Image comics that was a sort of their version of Wolverine, this guy with big claws and a healing factor. I don't think he looked a lot like Wolverine, I don't really remember. So it was Robotech, Rip Claw, and then from the early 2000s, some Red Sonja comics from Dynamite, who has been putting out Red Sonja comics now for 20 years or so. Subway underneath us. Just the great, the subway train noise coming up from underneath. But I remember getting those Red Sonja comics at the time. Like I said, sometime in the aughts, I think. And they had some nice covers on them. They were a solid comic, some nice, because that was one of the comics that did multiple covers. I only got one of each, but there was an Art Adams cover, I think a John Romita cover, but some nice covers on those Red Sonja comics. Don't remember anything about the insides though, besides they were all right. Let's see what we got. We gotta wait here at this stop. So I gave away those R's on Monday. Now I got some particularly heavy comics, some fairly new ones that I'm giving away. From 2022, Image Comics 30th anniversary, they put out an anthology comic called Image Anthology. It was a square-bound comic, twice 48 pages or something like that, and it had all different stories in it, being an anthology. Some nice covers on them as I give them away, but it's one of those comics. I like anthology comics in general because I like the different features, the different choices, and you never like every story in an anthology comic. That kind of comes with the territory. But I think I liked too few in the Image anthology, and some of them were stories about their regular comics that I already was buying. So it was kind of like, I don't need an extra little story about this comic I was already buying. So I decided to give those away. But they're also extra heavy, I noticed, because they're on heavy paper. They're twice the size. They were twice the price too, I think. But I need the shelf space. Those were on a shelf. I was like, I can give these away and get some shelf space back. Because I always got new comics to put on my shelves. Matter of fact, I got 16 new comics today at the I will be getting 16 new comics at the comic shop today. So, got to find places for them. So, got to get rid of some old stuff. Chelsea Papaya, boy, I'm talking right down to 23rd Street this morning. Song's still going through my head. Can you see the real me? Can you? Here we go, across 23rd. To the subway station. Yeah, we're not getting it on. We're just going to continue walking down to 14th. I've also been making, what have I been doing lately? Making tiny drawings. Well, yesterday I was also working on one of my Dreams of Things covers. I was using my markers to color it over the India ink. Those are the ones I usually show off on Thursdays on my comic book hauls. Or pardon me, Wednesdays on my comic book hauls. So I finished one of those. I've been doing those on Tuesdays lately. I think that was issue like 279, the 279th cover I've done in that series.
I know I did that too.
Here we go. Past the old construction zone. I think once I get to 300, I'm going to put together some sort of digital book of them. Not sure how I'm going to design it. we'll have to see. I was working on those, and yesterday I've been working on tiny drawings, little. Well, I'll tell you how the tiny drawings began. I usually work on 11 by 17 paper. That's sort of a standard size, tabloid size paper. Lots of original comic book art is done in 11 by 17. And I got this new watercolor paper. Except that watercolor paper is 12 by 18.
That's crazy. It was so bad.
So I decided I'd cut it down to 11 by 17, my regular size, which meant I could cut an inch off of the width and the height. So I had this inch wide paper. And I was like, well, what am I going to do with I was like, what am I going to do with this? This is nice paper. It's watercolor paper, 140-pound watercolor paper. So the strip of paper sat there for a while. And I said, you know what? If I cut this inch wide paper into inch by inch and a half pieces, that'll be about the same proportion that I'm used to working in. So that's what I did. And then I got a couple of little black markers and decided to just start drawing faces. I started to, well, the first one I drew was just a little drawing, little tiny drawing. Then I said, I'm going to do some comics. So I ended up stripping what a comic is down to its barest essentials, in that there's one face of one character, one word balloon up top, and one word in that word balloon. So, and they only take a couple minutes to do. I was in a meeting yesterday. That's where a Zoom meeting. So I ended up drawing some tiny drawings. I think in the hour and a half meeting, I made 20 little tiny drawings. And I've been giving them away. I was at Mocha Fest tabling for Pratt, my school, 2 Sundays ago. So at the Mocha Fest table, I just gave away little drawings, and I've been giving them away to students and whoever else I see during the day. So that's what I was doing yesterday, making a Dreams of Things cover and making tiny drawings. The tiny drawings are cute too. That's what everybody says, and that's kind of what I'm aiming for with these tiny drawings. I'll have to show them to you on my Wednesday comic book haul, which should be up now because today is Wednesday and I usually post these videos on Saturday. So the Wednesday video goes up before this one. So go check out my latest comic book haul video and see if I showed you some tiny drawings. I always show a Dreams of Things cover. Yawn. I seem to have a lot to say this morning. Not sure why. Past this restaurant where we got another subway train passing below us. As I walk on and next to the subway grate. By the way, that's what this. Whoa. Street sweeper. By the way, that's what this grate is down below me and in front of me here. That's the on the sidewalk. That's the subway grate. Must be part of the ventilation system for the subway. But that's what I've always heard it called, the subway grate. And they can be slippery in the rain, so be careful. And you can hear the subways rumble underneath you. Alrighty. Alrighty. Fast bike going by. Go here. We are almost to 14th Street. And it's pretty chilly out at 41 degrees. I think it's supposed to warm up soon, but that's what March is all about. Being cold, being warm. And you never know what coat to bring, so I always bring a warm one. I don't have my long coat on, but I got my short spring coat on. It's warm enough for 41. Plus I got my hat and gloves. Oh, through the steam. Right, looks like we're coming up on 14th Street. Good, because I've run out of things to say right at 14th Street. I've told you everything I've been doing. All the comics I've given away. And buying new ones. Okay, coming up on 14th Street. I'll have to say goodbye to everyone. You guys have a good day.